Alright, so this is a suggestion via a donation. The name of the video is, what if we had to live a day in the Stone Age? Yeah, no. Yeah, that's a major no.
Imagine you wake up one day and there's no electricity, no money, no internet, and no work or school. Nothing you're used to. No, you're not in California when they shut the power off. You're not even in your own home, because you've magically transported to the Stone Age. What could possibly happen next?
Listen, I'm going to give the modern human... How about this? I'm going to give the modern city-dwelling human, if you don't go outside and you stay in whatever cave you spawned in, right? I'm going to give you at least 3 days. That's it. No more than that. I mean, that's if you just literally do not go outside. If you go outside, 10 minutes. And I honestly hope there's none of these gigantic bugs in the cave with you, because you're done out here. All right. But if you're like a country boy and you go outside, maybe 2 hours. If you're like used to like hunting and things like that, right? But if you stay inside, it's still 3 hours, 3 days. That's it, maximum.
Of course, your first reaction would be shock, but we'll move past that. Yes, indeed. Now you get to experience life Flintstone style. First, let's look around. This is your cave where you live with your family.
Yes.
Wilma's not there. You have your own sleeping area that's covered with animal skin. However, you might also live in a primitive hut, supported by mammoth tusks and ribs, with an animal skin over it as protection from the rain.
Okay, so obviously, the house that you just got teleported to, right? It was lived in. So that means the person that was in there is now probably in modern times, probably in jail by now, right? That person's probably in jail. 3 minutes, 2 minutes, instantly, from all the screaming and confusion, right? So obviously you traded places.
Your morning routine won't include a quick trip to the bathroom to brush your teeth and a hot cup of coffee. And if you're wondering where the Stone Age people did their business, don't be surprised to find out it was basically anywhere outdoors. How convenient. So, it's time to get out and explore the new old world. But hey, don't forget to put on your clothes. Nah, nothing comfy and trendy from the mall. Back in the day, humans used the skin of animals they hunted to create simple, rough loincloths. To make the skin more flexible, they had to chew it. Let's hope you already have an outfit for today and won't have to strain your jaws. Later, they began to smoke the skins to make them last longer.
And this is why they lived to like 17 years old. All right? Okay, just listen.
And started making tunics. So, what about footwear? Scientists believe it appeared about 40,000 years ago.
Okay.
Take a small piece of animal skin and wrap it around your foot. Then stuff hay under the heel to create some kind of a sole. Voila! One shoe is done. Do the same with the other foot and let's go. Don't be scared. You won't face a giant mammoth right outside the shelter. Ancient humans were pretty smart and learned animals' habits because it was the only way to survive in the wild. So they chose caves or built huts in the safest places they could find. Now go down to the river and wash your face.
How would you know where the river was? By sound, probably? But bro, once you go down to that river, understand, crocodile's going to eat your face. There's probably piranha in there also, ready to eat your face. All other types of animals also getting water, ready to eat your face.
Curious to know what you'd look like in the Stone Age? Peek at your reflection. See, you're not that much different from the modern you. Just your hair is a mess and you might be a few inches smaller with a more developed jaw because of the harsh diet. And look at those bulky muscles. That's what you get when your life is all about running and fighting with wild animals while hunting. Yes, hunting is on your to-do list today. Just wait for it. But now it's time for breakfast. Luckily, you have some leftovers from dinner. Eggs, wild fruits, and berries. Sorry, no gas stove to cook the eggs. Want to try to do it on the fire? Okay, I'll help you. Find 2 small but sturdy and dry wooden sticks and rub them vigorously against each other. Logger, be patient.
Bro, that takes so long.
Oh, finally there's an ember. Good job. Now you can cook your breakfast.
Guys, really quickly, just a some really quick story time. Let's see. So I off-road a whole lot, yes, right? And a lot of times we're out in the middle of nowhere. And one time we definitely all forgot our fire starters. Guys, we tried everything. Nothing worked. Someone decided to try something like that, guys, and trust me, it took like an hour. We had no idea what we were doing. Us modern folk in the middle of the woods.
Using a stone as a frying pan. Need a fork? Way too early for that thing. See that seashell attached to a wooden stick? That's your spoon. Come on, the jungle is waiting for you. Thankfully, the Ice Age is long gone, so the weather is warm, and lush greenery is in abundance. That's good for you, since you have to pick different edible plants, nuts, fruits, and wild grains. It wasn't until around 10,000 BCE that the Stone Age folks learned how to grow their crops and domesticate animals. And they could finally stop moving from place to place in search of best hunting grounds. Look, here are some grapes. Let's snatch them.
Guys.
But how do we gather grains, you're wondering? Well, allow me to introduce you to the Stone Age tools. By the way, the Stone Age got its name thanks to the tools the humans invented that were made of wood. Nah, stone. Let me be your helper again.
Guys, there's so many problems with this theory. I understand what he's saying here is basically conventional knowledge. It's what not all of, the majority of the archaeologists that can't or won't want to explain the concept of prehistory. That they just don't want to get into it. And he's following it. I understand archaeology by this definition here. Guys, something major happened on this planet at around 12,800 BC. Guys, something major, and the problem is with what he's saying here in terms of like stones. I get it. I mean, that's just what conventional wisdom will dictate, but I feel like I need to make a video on this, guys. I think this may be like a unique, specific video that goes over the concept of prehistory. Like what was before this, if that makes any sense, guys. Because our species, for the most part, goes back much further than 10,000, BC, guys. It goes back a lot, guys, right? Like 175,000 years or somewhere in that range, guys. So we have a really long history on Earth, guys. And we, for example, there are some cultures that have just walked into buildings and they have just said that they were theirs, if that makes any sense. A couple of like oddities that make no sense. Modern archaeology cannot actually give us any insight on it, right? Because they refuse to look back any further than a very specific time in our history. Guys, check out like the Bimini Road, right? Check that out, guys.
The U-shaped stone sickle that knocks down the grain stalks.
There are issues.
Time to bring everything you've collected to your camp.
And I'm not referring to like Tartaria or whatever that was called, guys. I'm not talking about that. All right. Just be fully aware I'm no theorist. Right?
Now that the shock of time traveling has worn off, you notice that there are a few other huts near your dwelling. Those are your neighbors, Betty and Barney Rubble. The Stone Age folks usually united in groups of 20 to 50 and helped each other survive. Okay, you can eat grapes and other fruits raw, but what can you do with the grains? To separate the grains from the husks, take a stone bowl and a small grinding stone and grind the grains. Now, if you mix smashed grains with water, you'll get gruel. Fry it on stones the way you did with the eggs, and here's your first flatbread. Yeah, it doesn't taste fantastic,
right?
But don't worry, we're like 15,000 years away from your favorite bakery. Is it dusk already? Brace yourself, my friend, because you're about to go hunting. I have some good news for you. You won't have to do it alone. The Stone Age people survived because they did almost everything together. So call up your camp neighbors and get ready. How would you feel living in such harsh conditions? Let me know in the comments. Oh wait, how did humans communicate back then? At the very beginning of the Stone Age, they only used different cries and gestures to express their fear, joy, pain, or to alert the others about some danger.
Right.
Later, they learned how to pronounce sounds using their teeth, tongue, and mouth. That's how both speech and language appeared, which made their life much easier and leveled up their teamwork. Of course, anthropologists have no clue how exactly their language sounded, since no written traces are left, and nobody left a tape. And what's a tape? More ancient technology. So, you and your camp fellows need to take some special hunting tools with you. What are they?
Guys, bring Walkmans back.
First and most primitive things used for taking animals down were long, sharpened wooden sticks and just a big rock. But over time, prehistoric peeps invented spears. The point, pardon the pun, wasn't made of metal, of course. Too early for that. Instead, they used small, sharp-edged stones attached to a long bone or stick. This was a very important invention, since it made hunting less dangerous. Their chances of staying alive were better because they didn't have to get too close to an animal and could hunt it from a distance. As dusk settles, your hunting group goes deep into the jungle. You should be looking for large herbivore animals like elephants, woolly mammoths, giant bison, reindeer, and deer. They won't only be your dinner, but will also give you a supply of furs, bones, horns, and skin you can use for your household. There were two main hunting techniques back then. The first was rather time-consuming, but safer. It included digging a huge hole around the place where animals went to drink water. That hole served as a trap for your game. Yeah, you gotta dig without a spade. You'll have the help of a digging stick, a wooden stick with a horn at the top,
Guys,
or a large cleaver,
we wouldn't survive this.
an oblong shape,
Like, I love the thought experiment, but we just would not.
stone, or
make it.
bone. After the hole is ready, you have to hide and wait patiently. Another technique was all about the group chasing the animal and forcing it into the mud and water channels where they had no way to get out. Oh, did you see that? It's a deer. Run as fast as you can, guys, and try to change its track straight into that swamp. Oh no, it got away. Yeah, not every hunting season was a success. But your tribe still needs something for dinner. Better move on to fishing now. Don't worry, you won't have to catch fish with your bare hands.
Okay, good.
Fishing nets and harpoons are at your disposal. Nets were made of tree bark and grass. The oldest one found by archaeologists dates back to 8300 BCE. Harpoons, made of antlers, usually had a rope to bring the catch into the fisher. It was used mostly for big fish like whales, tuna, and swordfish. Okay, throw the net in the river, but don't forget to ask the others where a good spot would be.
I mean, listen, it sounds genius, the concept of somehow catching a whale with what looks to be an antler attached to a rope that was made with who knows what. Guys, imagine a whale. Doesn't sound plausible, but let's go.
Now you'll have to wait. Oh look, there's some
doesn't
fish.
sound real.
Pull the net with all your might. Tribe folks, help him. Me, I'm just directing here. All right, you won't be hungry tonight. Bring what you caught to the camp and get some rest. The others will take care of the catch. I know what you're
swordfish is
thinking.
really small
It's all
for some
work and no
reason.
play. And yes, you're right. The Stone Age life was anything but easy.
Right.
But still, humans had some kind of entertainment. No, you're not going to an amusement park or a cinema, but you can pass the time playing music on the flutes made from bird bones and mammoth ivory. Some crafting is another option. Make dinner, can't you
Right.
tell? Hey, if you learned something new today...
Guys, here's the thing, right? If we were to be teleported back into the Stone Age times, but we were like mentally similar to those people, I think we would probably make it. But if a modern day human was to be teleported back into the Stone Age, I think personally we would not adapt correctly. And I do think that well, how about this? Depending on where they're from. Like, if we start referring to, like, the Maasai in East Africa, I think they're good, guys. I'm just going to be honest. They're going to be fun. If we're referring to, like, I don't know, guys, Suzanne from Great Britain, probably not. Or you get what I'm saying here, guys? It's just not going to function, depending on where you are, currently sitting. Right? But all right, listen, let me know in the comments for the next subject we should be checking out, and I will get into that as soon as I possibly can. All right? And listen, you guys all have an absolutely amazing day, and enjoy your day thoroughly.